Pounders, welcome to Smash the Slate, episode 2. I am happy to announce we have Dooley with us today, and it's going to be a reoccurring show on Tuesday nights. It'll be at 8 p.m. for the future shows, just because we have our redraft content. Andrew asked we have to get out of the way this week. Dooley, welcome to the live stream.
Thanks, man. Yeah, happy to do this. It's going to be fun. The weeklies are always a good time thinking through all that. Brand new slate each week.
Yeah. I had to put Mostert on the thummy. I had to put Mostert on the thummy. He's number one leverage play.
Let's go.
He's the number one leverage play, right? So if you miss out on Hill, you miss out on all those guys. And I dipped into an early Battle Royale stream right when it kicked off, basically 30 minutes after. And I was like, Hill should be at the 2 spot. And that happened pretty quickly. It's not surprising at all. So we were able to get some crazy combinations, like some Hill Eckler teams that are really, really tough to get right now.
Damn, you got Hill Eckler?
Yeah, I have 2 Hill Eckler squads, like correlated, really fun. But that's like part of Battle Royale. Is one of the best times to get into it is when the contest drops and the ADPs are fresh. The next best time is when the contest is about to fill and everyone has 60 entries plus. And they're like, I already have this combination. Let me reach. And you're just getting rare combinations by selecting the following value. I think it's hilarious, and you'll see it. So jump into those drafts at the end. The last 5%, they get rowdy. They get absolutely rowdy. But quick shout out to our 900th subscriber. I appreciate you guys. If you guys enjoy the content, enjoy the show, drop us a like, drop us a follow. Dooley's info is in the description. Make sure you give him a follow on the Twitter machine. He's always putting out threads that are just big brain stuff. Great stuff. Let's pull up this thread by Lex on Battle Royales. And this was just like really nice to confirm some priors that I had. And it's good to get some data behind this stuff. So there's 36 contests for Battle Royales. And he's basically just going through and saying what's optimal, what worked in the past, which is nice. It's nice when you can get any piece of data. It's sort of like Duels when you went ahead and you kind of formulated some data around what we think will work in weeklies for this upcoming year in a new contest. So it's good to see.
I asked Hayden if I could get something similar for this stuff, and he said they don't want to give out all the answers to the test. So
okay.
We're just going to be working with whatever, stuff people can go back through and grab like this. There's not really going to be any massive data sets that you can use coding to work through.
And that's fine. So like we're not going to get the weekly statistics, but we can just add on. Yeah. That's okay. If we already start to have the data from what has worked. I think he went through and he just did the winning contests. Right? He just did the winning teams.
At one point, he talks about just the winning ones, and then he moves to like top 5 lineups.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he must have gone through the results from last year. So if you played every slate, you could go look at that stuff. But it's super manual doing it that way, rather than where I could just download a BBM file and parse through it with code.
Right.
But yeah. So I think it was top 1 on the top, and then when you get down into the stacks, it was top 5 on the site.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that because you can start to see, all right, maybe that double stack, which we know is really tough to get there. So it is only one time out of the last 36 contests for Battle Royale. If you guys aren't already aware, it's just a 1-week slate. It's the games that are Sunday afternoon to the 4 p.m. games if you're on Eastern time. So no night game, no Monday, and no Thursday games on these slates. Peeking through, 24 out of 36 teams had at least one flex player score 30 half-point PPR points. 15 out of 36 teams had all flex players score at least 20 points. And 32 out of 36 had all flex players score at least 15 points, which isn't surprising. Tight ends, and you can just sort of get like a gauge of what type of ceiling you have to be reaching for in these contests. It's funny that 3.4 cash, though. Must have been super optimal everywhere else.
I'm surprised with some of the stuff I looked at for the weekly winners. Remember we saw we looked through it. There was like a 1 point Kyle Pitts in there.
Yeah.
You just hit the nuts everywhere else. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why tight end's so volatile too.
Right. And it could have happened very easily on a flat tight end scoring week, which is
Yeah,
more
it
likely
really
to
is.
happen than, wide receiver, running back. You see it a lot at QB too, but definitely more at tight end. Stacking correlation, 21 out of 36 had a QB paired with just one teammate. Just one. Whether it was a wide receiver, which we see 16 times, tight end 3 times, or RB 2 times. 4 out of 36 teams had a QB stacked with 2 teammates. And only one of those were a wide receiver duo. And that was a lineup where it was Chase and Boyd or Higgins and Boyd. I forget the exact combo, but I know it had Boyd in it. And that was last year. So Boyd was someone that wasn't being drafted. And you can sort of see that. Unless you have the right game script, I think it's possible to hit again. But when you're drafting 2 wide receivers on the same team, and we've gone over this in weeklies, you're sort of betting against one another that they're not going to have 3 touchdowns that game. It's really tough to get both of these guys to get in the end zone twice or have that 20, 25 point game plus.
I'm definitely not doing 2 receiver stacks. Like I get it's worked, but I think you're drawing real thin because you're also betting against so many other receivers since you can only even have 3 drafted on your team.
Yeah.
Like if you go Chase Boyd, you're betting like you got to hope Boyd is like a top 5 scorer at receiver, or somebody else is just going to have Chase with somebody who outscored Boyd.
You likely need
really threatening the middle there.
It's even worse than you would probably need Boyd to like be someone that doesn't go drafted, right? And yeah, like you said, top 5 scorer, and then have Chase be top 3 too, and to be optimal everywhere else. Super thin.
I would not recommend it. You did pass over one piece that I thought was interesting. Right above the TE at the bottom of that one. Yeah.
124 of 180 top 5 rosters have used 2 RBs. Yeah.
That's staggering.
Definitely.
The field's that only matters if you know what the field's doing, right? Because if the field's doing 2 RBs 100% of the time, then you probably want to be on the wide receiver side of it. But kind of whichever way the field is leaning, you want to be on the other side of it. I don't know where the field's. Maybe Chad has the data for that. The guy in the deposit kingdom that he might be able to look at that. But if the field's like doing 50% wide receiver flex and 50% RB, you want to be hammering 2 RB teams.
Definitely, and we already have the data that RBs spike. They have a better potential of spiking into the lineup over receivers into that flex spot. I believe that was Mike Leone, right?
I did that data for like the stuff I did, but it's totally different, I think, with more roster spots and all that. What did Leone do data on BR?
No, I believe Battle Royale, not Battle Royale, but Bestball Mania.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I looked at too, and that was all relative to ADP and stuff though. ADP is almost like out the window in this stuff. So I'm not sure how relevant it is, but this shows it right here. So.
Yeah, and I think we can definitely keep our eye on this, see how teams are drafting. I feel like I've seen more teams go 2 RBs on this specific slate. We'll have to keep our eye out for this, though. Definitely 2 RBs, 68.9% of the time. That's huge. And I believe no double tight end team in here somewhere, no double elite tight end team has won.
Yeah, I'm completely Xing that out. I don't think.
Not surprising.
Single one.
Not surprising.
Like I get it's unique, but it's just so unlikely for that to work.
Yeah, exactly. Especially all the elite tight ends are getting hurt, man. You got like Andrews with an injury, you got Kelsey with an injury, Kittle's banged up, Hawkinson's banged up. This was the season for 3 lates. Gonna help my portfolio, that's for sure.
Yeah, me too. I just drafted a ton of tight ends this year in general.
So stacking correlation, so we went over this.
So that means 25 out of 36 had some sort of stack. You add those two.
Right, yep. 11 out of 36 had flex pairings on the same team. So wide receiver and a running back, wide receiver and a tight end, only 1, wide receiver 1, and RB tight end 1. So sure, wide receiver running back is definitely in play, but in my opinion, it is very thin. Like it has to be the right team, right? You just can't do that with any specific team, especially if you're not going that quarterback then it's going to change if you're doing it with pass catching running backs versus, like a Rashad Penny type. You have to keep that stuff in
Yeah.
mind. Shooting for the ultimate ceiling, though, this is a contest that has 45,000 entrants. So one of my favorite strategies is sort of looking at just like the over-unders, right? And finding that game that
Yep.
the QB's not being drafted. They're going outside of the top 6. Only 6 players in a draft. Only 6 QBs are being drafted. Who's QB7? Who's QB8? Who's QB9? And let's get a game stack around that. And I would have loved. So I already had my eye on the Seattle Rams slate stack for this slate. If Cooper Kupp was healthy, and I think that changes. I think it changes it a lot for like trying to game stack it. Now you can still go like Higbee. You could go Van
The Rams are going to be
Jeffy.
a mess without Cooper Kupp. And I like Higbee, but then when you look at the game theory of it, it's like Higbee's being drafted. I think I actually looked at Jetsing. I think he's being drafted like 60% of the time. Like, you can't tell me you want a 60% Higbee over like Freiermuth or Njoku, who are just not even being drafted.
So
Like,
it's not as exciting. Yeah, it's
Right, it makes it
definitely
way less
not
exciting.
as 100% agree
If
with
Higbee
you.
was like tight end 10 in ADP, I would be all over him, but it just feels bad. Like,
He's
you made
being
me
drafted a
giving up
lot.
points. You made me giving up projected points, not taking like Freiermuth
Yeah.
and Njoku over
Dude,
him.
dude, he's the sleeper that is not a sleeper anymore.
Not
Like
anymore.
he's being
Yeah.
drafted, like you said. Like that's a lot. So
Yeah, I agree.
could it still get there? Sure. But like looking
Yeah.
at the game script of how that game's gonna go, like maybe just
Chad
give
has
me
55% on
Akers.
Higbee.
Yeah.
Chad has 55% on Higbee, and then you have like Njoku with 34% in like a way better game environment. You have
Yeah.
Evan Ingram, who I'd probably like better too. Like, I mean, even Cole Kmet's
Against
fine. It's
Indy.
like, yeah, like I've been taking Gerald Everett for some leverage. Like, he's like only 15% drafted.
Oh yeah. Oh
I don't
yeah.
know. I
Gerald
like-
Everett. Big
yeah,
time.
I like Higbee in a vacuum. Like, if I had him in a managed league, I'd be like, sweet. Like, he's probably guaranteed a bunch of targets, but in this, looking at the whole environment.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, maybe you get through the draft and like the Chargers Miami game is the highest scoring game on the slate. It does sort of feel bad to fully fade that game. And I find it very tough to fade the highest scoring point total on the week. So like even getting, like you said, Everett late if those wide receivers go, and that's a great way to leverage that game. Getting Mostert late if you want another piece on the Miami side, a great way to leverage the wide receivers. Even Tua, like he's outside the top 6, so getting some. Oh, the peace and quiet. Now we're gonna.
Why did you say
now,
something? I wasn't looking
now
at
we're
the
gonna.
chat.
Now we're gonna see Dooley sweat. The sweat begins. Is he starting to turn red already? AC's
Yeah.
off.
Already read.
Buddy, if you need it, the people don't mind. The
No, it's
people
all
don't
good.
mind. Stacking correlation, 16 out of 36 had one flex player on both sides of the game. So this gets into like game stacking. 4 out of 36 had 3 flex players from the same game. So this is like a double stack with a bring back. And I'm not surprised that this is 4. Like you would think this would be lower based on like
curious to
double
see
stacking not
QBs.
working. But it's betting on a narrative of a game, right? And when you bet on a narrative of a game and you get that game very right, I'm not surprised to
Yeah.
see that get there.
Yeah, I don't think any of this is showing bringbacks with the QB and with the flex on the same team, right?
Not with the QB.
Yeah, so I'd be curious how much of those ones with the 4 out of 36, I bet like all of those had a QB from that game. That would be shocking if you got 3 flex players with no QB. Because the QB is just the catalyst to like all those, like 2 out of 3 of them.
And most people, I feel like, are game stacking. Like, if you're going to bring in 2 players on one side of the offense, then bring someone in on the other side of the ball. I mean, maybe you're not bringing in the pass catching running back though. Maybe you're sort of leveraging a pocket passing QB with the, with like a Rashad Penny type, with the Derrick Henry type. I don't know. That'd be interesting to see further into this though. I agree. 35 out of 36 winning lineups had at least one game correlation.
That's pretty
That's
crazy.
that's telling. That's telling. 13 out of 36 had two different game correlations. So getting like a mini stack in a separate game. Getting that like Tyreek Hill this week, maybe with like Mike Williams, and then you build around that and you get a separate game stack.
Yeah, I've definitely done stuff like that because there's got to be times where like Hertz or Lamar just crush and you only get like
Fields.
25. Yeah, Fields too. And you only get like 25 from Tua or Herbert, and it's just not enough because other people had the other pieces with a
Right.
QB who scored more. So I'm not as worried with the QB in that game. Like I obviously have some, but
Mm-hmm.
I actually like Lamar and Hertz in this with Allen and Mahomes off the slate.
Yeah,
It
I
makes
agree
them a
with
little
that.
more valuable.
I agree with that big time. And there's a lot of ways you can go with this. How many are you going to do about a week? Do you know? Have you set a number?
Um, it's gonna just depend on time, really. I
Yeah.
given like unlimited time, I'd be down to put in like 50 or so a week, but
Hmm.
I'm not gonna try and rush through them all, and I don't like to multi-table too much. I'd rather have less but better
Yeah.
entries.
Yeah. Oh, and it's so easy to hammer these too. Like the 8 to 10 minutes and you're in and
Yeah,
out. I
yeah.
love that.
I'll do two at once, but they don't fill. Like sometimes they're like you're almost done with the other one before the next one fills. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna do. I guess it depends what time you're drafting.
What do you
Yeah,
say? Do we jump into one?
yeah. Let's do it. Yeah. What is your strategy? I feel like I like don't know what to do in the first like 3 rounds, and then it becomes like easier when you
That's
can just start like picking the guys you like and the correlation. At first, I'm just like, do I reach for uniqueness? I basically try and
it's
get unique in the first 3 rounds by either reaching or by getting a faller. If I can't get a faller, I'm
yeah.
just like, all right, I'm just gonna not ever basically pick exactly at the ADP.
I agree with that.
That's
Like
just
you sort of take what comes to you. If you can get like a rare combination, that's
yeah,
always what I stress first.
yeah.
Try to get a
That's
rare
option one.
combination.
Hmm.
If that doesn't happen, then it's like, oh god, this is the Pounders draft. Goats cards, King of Kings, ER7, us,
Oh
Wobby,
jeez.
and I don't know if Dylan is, but this will be a
All
fun
right,
one. Dylan,
okay,
let
let's
us
go
know if
six
you're
for
in the live
six.
stream.
The other four are all pounders.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah, this will be fun. But yeah, I think that's super sharp. What you said is it's okay to not know what to do, and you shouldn't have a plan in mind. Like it's funny how many times I'm like, dude, I'm gonna this is gonna be my Raheem Mostert team, and then I'll get like Chubb in the third round. It's like
Yeah.
I can't.
I go in
I
with no
want
plan.
to, but I can't.
I just do whatever the hell I'm feeling.
Dude, all six.
Um,
That's
in
awesome.
general, I've definitely been really targeting the Miami Chargers game. I know it's like chalk, but it's like 4 points out in front to be the highest total. It's not even like there's a cluster. It's like the only really high total game. And then there's like the difference between first and second for the totals right now is like the same difference between second and like seventh. And
Mm-hmm.
it's also
Mm-hmm.
less. It's even more percentage different because it's your numbers are getting higher. So like, yeah, I don't know. So I've been really targeting that game, and then I like the
I like Chase here at 4.
yeah. I've pretty much just been going on ADP for the first 5 picks. After Eckler, I don't really care.
And when you bet on Chase, like for me, like this lineup almost instantly becomes a Joe Burrow lineup because you're betting that Joe Burrow's healthy and you're betting that Chase has a big game. And when Chase
Yeah,
has a big game, it's 150 yards plus and a touchdown.
yeah, I'm with that. I mean, you don't really need to consider it, but it is nice if you get a Burrow team with another stack option of a QB who's not drafted, so you don't get
Yep.
completely screwed on a swap.
Yeah.
But I think Burrow plays though. I think they're just not. They just don't want to re-injure it before the game. He doesn't
Yeah.
really need to practice that much.
Let me Hey Lex, welcome to the live stream, my man. Let me actually drop this man's Twitter info in the chat. Give this man a follow as well. All right. Are we on the clock?
We are on the clock, yeah.
Um,
See, like Bijan just goes right into ADP, so I'm probably not doing that. I mean, I know the
yeah.
ADP's moved around a little bit, but I mean,
How about like Waddle?
yeah, I've been clicking Waddle a lot. He's going to be one of my higher owned. I really like Calvin Ridley. I've been taking a lot of guys that I want to get like ahead of the market on because it's like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, some like breakout type stuff. Like, what if the Jags are just a top 5 offense and people are just kind of sleeping on them the first weeks in BR? Like, I'm definitely going to be
Big
kind of like
time.
more exposed to teams that I think are better than the market thinks, and just win my bets early versus like, best ball if that's the whole
You
season. But
you
go
can
way
really
down.
see that. You can really see that game getting ugly for Indy too with time of possession. You might actually get a game fully dominated by Jacksonville.
I've been taking like I probably have one of Ridley or ETN in like half my lineups.
This is
Christian Kirk,
interesting.
I don't know if he's ever even been drafted. He probably should be drafted sometimes.
Definitely.
I would be down for Jalen Hurts here.
Yeah, Hurts or
Although,
Andrews, we're gonna get
although
a following.
that was actually stupid for my ADP thing, because you could have just taken this chalk would have been Andrews at 9 with Waddle at 16. We're picking right into ADP again, but that's kind of exactly what I said I don't like to do.
Because it's a flop, right?
Because
It's
it's
a
just
flip flop
flipped. We just
trade.
reached on Waddle, then got the fall on.
Right. It's a flip flop trade.
I mean, you can still do it and just get weird at the end. I like DK. I love Dobbins. I've been clicking both of them a ton.
Yeah. I'm thinking one of these. This will be a three
Sometimes
wide
when I
receiver
really don't know
team.
what to do, I'll just like reach on the QB I need and just be like, I'm
Mhm.
not going to worry about that anymore. And now it's just going to force me to get unique because I just reached way on ADP. I'm not doing that in like the second round, but like there, I've done that.
And that's the thing. Like
Or
DK,
to get weird.
if JSN doesn't play, DK should definitely be in front of Keenan Allen. Like if you want to put him behind Devontae Adams, like fine.
Yeah.
But he has to go in front of Keenan Allen. I think it's interesting that where Mike Williams goes in relation to Keenan Allen. Now he went early here, right? He went at
Yeah,
14,
that one was
which is
weird.
sharp.
They should probably be going pretty similarly. And like,
At the very worst, like flip flop the two.
yeah, and I don't know about Olave. Like, I don't know. He doesn't like see me as like a BR kind of guy, Olave.
I'm cool with
I don't know
Dobbins
if
here.
I've clicked him. I
This
love Dobbins. I've been taking
this
a ton of
yeah.
him.
Like we think about why people were fading Derrick Henry before the season started, and then the schedule comes out. And it's like, ah, shit, got to catch up on Henry. It's because he's playing Houston twice. Well, guess who has Houston week 1?
Yeah,
It's a nice way to
and
leverage
that's
Lamar
another
too.
one where like I just think if Dobbins like has the role we think he has, like he could be easily like a top 12 RB. And like this is one of the things where it's like the market's just like not really. I mean, I guess he's getting pushed up a bit in this, but
Yeah.
I don't know. He could smash this week and leverage on Lamar. I would never take them together.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. J.K. Dobbins kind of hinting that he's going to be heavily involved in the passing game.
Yeah, I guess for
Like, we'll
that I'd
see.
rather kind of see it first. Because that one I'm not sure. I believe
Does
that
everyone has their QB, so this is something to look out for. We don't
they
need to
do.
go
Okay.
QB next pick.
Yeah, we can go Earl in the last round.
We could even go Fields with the last pick.
Fields Komet.
Fields Komet
Or just naked Fields. I mean, naked Fields.
could
probably
go
just
naked
running
Fields
naked.
too.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I once you get, yeah, I've been just scrolling down at tight end.
Like honestly, a little bring back play for the Chargers Miami game. This is a way to leverage this side of the ball too.
Yeah, I'm
I
down
think
for
this
Everett.
is. Pats are actually really good against the tight ends. We'll see. We'll see how the Pats like their defense is gonna be relatively. They should be top 10 like pretty easily this year. Now, if the offense can't stay on the field, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah,
But this is a complete leverage team though, which I'm cool with.
that's like the main way I pick. That's like pick who I like in these sometimes. Unless I
And
just
this is
really like a matchup or just think someone's mispriced, but I think it's all about leverage in these.
and like going back to what I said, like where it's really hard to plan your next pick because you don't know how the draft's going to turn out. Like if you told me I'm going to get a last pick, Justin Fields, like I'm probably going to do that every single time.
Yeah, I mean he's breaks slates all the time.
It's like these
Yeah,
guys
no,
could very easily outscore DJ Moore.
Yeah, I'm not that in on DJ Moore. Love it.
We'll see how it looks week 1. And naked Justin Fields to start today's stream. Hilarious.
Big brain in it.
Let's see how some of these other teams turned out. Ghost cards: JJ, Bijan, TJ Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, Chris Godwin. I don't love Chris Godwin, but he's probably going to be low owned.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, Josh Jacobs, Tyler Higbee, and Devonta Smith. This is a fun one.
Yeah, I like that team. Although I'm honestly, I don't know what to do about Higby. Like, I like the matchup, I like the situation, but just he's being so much more owned than guys who are like the same thing or even better.
But if Kupp doesn't play, and he has the matchup against one of the worst teams against the tight end. Now this is last year. Like last year was just someone's playing Seattle, start that tight end. Like that's how it was in redraft. It's gonna be tough, especially we have the knowledge that Staffy's like not connecting, at least on a personal level, with his young receivers.
What was that all about? I saw the headline.
So
it was
that was like,
said it right.
Take their phone away or yell at them. Like, don't complain behind their back. Like, that's the worst thing you could probably, like, that's the least leadership type thing.
Cool dude, Stafford.
So that all the more makes me think that Higbee's going to have a decently high floor. Yeah. I don't think he kills you on this slate. I hate that it's chalky at this point.
Right, that chalk is the issue here. I like the matchup. I like it all in general too. It's just, I don't know. He's not like an elite dude that you want to just eat the chalk on, especially when you can just grab like, I don't know, Njoku's not getting drafted that much. Fire
Dude, Kittle went undrafted here.
Like, play. Also, even with Kittle might not playing, how is Debo going undrafted in every draft? I don't think I've seen him get drafted once.
I've seen him.
That's got to be one of the craziest ones I've seen. Like,
I've seen him a few times mixed in, but I've done like 30 so far. Let's peek these others. So Calvin Ridley, Trevor Lawrence, Jahan Dotson, David Njoku, and ETN. So getting that double in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
No bring back, which is fine. I don't think you really want to bring back for the Indy game. AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, Derrick Henry, Olave, and Evan Ingram.
I like that.
Yeah.
What was
Nick
his
Chubb?
first round pick? You missed one.
Oh, sorry. Eckler.
Oh, we had McCaffrey on that other team too. We didn't see him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that makes it. That makes a lot more sense. I'm like, yeah, that team like, looks weird.
Missing a superstar, but it's not bad.
That's quality. Lamar, Chubb, Andrews, Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, and Mostert. This one's fun. He's got his mini stack here.
That's a really good team. I like that. The 6-hole team.
Yeah, that's a fun one. All right, let's rip another. I almost just pressed the big dog too, which would be okay too.
You gonna do one?
I might do one tonight, like off stream. It's just So like we're gonna be streaming the Pounders Founders Patreon League after this at 7:30. We're gonna be taking votes on the favorite team in the Discord. So if you're not already in the Discord, get in there. We're gonna need your vote. We're gonna be giving away a few towels tonight.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun.
Goats gets in this one. We get the 5 spot here.
We just had 3.
Let's do a little scroll down test. Like Stevenson versus Philly.
You can scroll down and be comfortable with.
You can definitely mix him in as like a bring back in these Philly stacks. Brian Robinson, Cam Akers. If everyone's going Higbee, maybe you just go Akers for your Seattle bring back.
Yeah, I like some other guys better, I think.
Rashad White.
Khalil Herbert is interesting.
Definitely.
Yeah, I've played Madison a few times. For one, I really like leveraging off of like guys that are drafted every single time. And also Madison's like one of those guys where like I like the wide range of outcomes in week 1 because we're gonna start to like narrow down range of outcomes. So like you should probably embrace some of the crazy range of outcomes in week 1 at least. Where it's like Madison, if this dude he just takes all Dalvin's snaps. I think Dalvin was playing like 85% of snaps. Like there's definitely a chance that Ty Chandler plays 40% and Madison's at 60, but What
Yeah.
if they just trot him out there 85% of the snaps, and you're like, wow, just went
Well,
undrafted in every draft?
the best part about that is you're leveraging off a first round pick too.
Yeah. That's part of it. Yeah, I'm down for McCaffrey.
CMC at 5. Yeah. Not too many people are doing bringbacks for this game too. Maybe this is like a Deontay Johnson. He actually scores a touchdown and gets
I
100 yards.
Yeah, maybe. I like Hurts, honestly. I've been taking a bit of Hurts.
Let's
I do
bring in
like
Hurts
Chubb though.
here.
That game's being slept on. Yeah, Hurts is good.
It
Um,
definitely is. And this is like one of those things like Chubb, we haven't seen it yet. We've heard that he's going to have a larger role on third down.
yep.
If he does, I mean, he's probably
Yeah, that's the
a
thing.
top 3
That's a
pick
week
every
one
week.
leverage to lean into, because like if he does week one, then week two you're not get he's gonna be with like McCaffrey.
Bingo.
So like you
Bingo.
gotta I think you gotta play into that stuff week one when nobody really knows.
Yeah, and I agree with you that this game's being slept on a little bit.
Yeah, it's the second highest total. It sounds gross, like I don't know, just like a divisional game. Like the Browns just sound gross in my head for matchups, but I guess like they could be pretty good.
Again, you have the unknown with how's Watson going to do after a full summer of
Right.
training camp with these guys with OTAs? Can he come back and be a shadow of what he once was? And if he is, maybe you do a Deshaun Watson stack with Amari Cooper and a bring back. Maybe you get Chase. And you're like, all right, I'm going to try to make this my Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper team.
Yeah, you got T. Higgins going like mostly undrafted. That's pretty crazy. Like, why are we taking him in the second round of Bestball drafts? He's going to go undrafted on the first slate that he's in the
Because we shouldn't be taking him. We shouldn't
second
be
highest
taking him in
taken
the
total.
second round.
I mean, I'm underexposed on him, but like some people are.
Oh
I don't
God.
know. Like this season, the second best game environment you could be in, and I don't know. Some of the stuff just doesn't make that much sense. I've been taking him in the last round of these.
I think Hawk has a really good chance to finish as tight
I
end
kind of
1.
like the Fryermuth bring back on this one with.
Ooh,
I've been
Pat
trying.
Fry. We can go Pat Fry.
Yeah, not right now, but yeah,
You cool with
I'm
the
down for the
Waddle?
Waddle again. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, I got. Yeah, this person a pounder?
No. How
I
about
was gonna say Mike Williams.
100%? That's exactly who I had. The
Oh
little
wait, we
mini
gotta
stack
consider. Are we
here.
going naked? We could go.
Swift. No, I'm just kidding.
I
We
actually
can go
did you see
Goddard
the betting odds? The anytime TD betting odds for Eagles? They all got Penny
for.
over Swift to score.
That's
Dude,
funny.
Penny. I
That's
mean, I might be
funny.
the only person who's drafted
It's
him a few times in this.
it's
That's
probably
another
just
one, dude. If he's
goal
like their
line.
starting back, he's not going to go undrafted anymore. Like if he's just into the role, he could be into.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Swift with the first touch, but how much does that matter when it's 3rd and 2 on the goal line, like,
Hmm.
and Rashad Penny's out there?
Or when Penny just breaks off 2 long TDs because he's just elite. Um,
We'll see. And this is a game
yeah,
that this game could very well be done by halftime, and they're just running the clock.
and if they're just running the clock, it's probably going to be Penny over Swift because we haven't seen any coaches trust Swift to just run the rock 20 times up the middle.
Right.
So I don't know. Like again, I think that if you're going to be in on Penny, do it now because if we get week one usage stuff, he's not going to be drafted this late.
ER7. Everyone in here get 5 people to sub, so he does a 24-hour live stream. We could still do it. Yeah, I
Oh yeah,
did plan on giving away 50% of our $500 draft equity.
okay.
A free shot at 25K, basically sweat with us. It was a room with Sam Sherman, Liam, Peter Jennings, and Dave. It was a fun one. We ended up with a strong team. I think I'm the only one in there that liked our team,
Really?
which is funny. Yeah, everyone hated their squad, but
Oh yeah, was that a late night one you guys got to fill?
yeah,
I think I saw
yeah.
you guys talking on Twitter about that.
Burrow, Chase, Hawkinson, J.K. Dobbins, Bijan. I think Bijan's. I've been clicking him a lot for week 1 here just because of that unknown, and it seems like a
Yeah.
plus matchup for him too.
Mm-hmm. That game could just be like miserable, but I guess a miserable game's like good for him.
We likely want Devonta Smith here, right?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't really like running naked. Like, I guess, I guess Hurts. Yeah, Hurts and Fields. I guess would be the two, but I'm down for
I've
Devonta and then grab. I mean, I guess your favorite scroll down on tight end, but like, I feel like you might as well with the correlation. Is there any other correlation? I guess. I mean, I think Hunter Henry's too far
no,
scroll down.
yeah.
I think Fryermuth could take like another step.
How about a Taysom Hill?
I've seen the Badge Bros do that. I think. I'd rather Fryermuth, but I don't hate it.
I'm gonna mix in Taysom Hill at some point.
You should.
Absolutely
Is
have
it
to.
QB now?
Let's
You
go.
hear?
Let's. It's the worst. I heard he was actually changed, like on drafters, and there's like a whole
No,
conspiracy.
not drafters. FFPC.
FFPC. Thank you.
It's like
Excuse me.
managed best ball, right? FFPC.
I think
But
so.
that's terrible.
Yeah.
Nobody would ever draft him if he was listed as a QB. So they screwed everybody who drafted him. It's a dead roster
Exactly.
spot at QB.
Exactly. It's rough. It's rough. I mean, you only want him for best ball, but
Mhm.
for QB, an 18-point spike week isn't as sexy as an 18-point spike week for tight end. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
that's
nothing.
pain.
That's a
That's
bad
pain.
week at QB.
Check out Ghost Cards. JJ, Nick Chubb, Devontae Adams, Joe Mixon, Justin Fields, and Cole Kmet. That's a fun one. That's a fun one. So he's got, I don't really love doing double RBs like in the same game. So Cincy versus Cleveland, I don't like to have both
Why?
RBs. I think it does correlate negatively.
Does it? I've seen
I feel
correlation matrices actually. Let me see it.
I feel like it I feel like it I feel like it would. Just if one team's running the ball, the other team's running the ball the whole time, slower pace, longer drives. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I have seen a. What am I looking at? I'm 4 for 4.
Fryermuth isn't QB, unfortunately. Maybe next week. Maybe next week. Just I think it's really just like a game flow thing. Game flow thing.
Yeah. Um.
Now, if like someone break, like if Nick Chubb can break a long touchdown, it turns into like a fast uh, possession change. But like,
Yeah.
what type of game environment would help you? Like,
I
if
mean,
one
those
team
guys don't
gets,
have to run the ball like 25 times. They could just luck. You could have Burrow throw for 400 yards, but Mixon scores
yeah,
2 touchdowns, and it doesn't matter.
yeah,
But I agree. In your head, it doesn't sound great, but I'm not convinced. Like the numbers, actually, I found one from 2017, but I'm going to say that's not even relevant anymore.
I think the risk is like if one team gets ahead, right? You're down 14, you're down 17 points.
That's actually true.
How likely is that team to run the ball? So you got some factors that have to really go right in that type of game environment, in my
This
mind at
thing from
least.
2017 has the correlation between like an RB1, the opponent's RB1, more than
Yeah,
the opponent's wide receiver one. But
yeah.
that that might just be old news. I don't know. It was 5 years ago.
Feel better,
Yeah,
my
I don't
man.
know. It's not a no. I wouldn't say I'll never do it, but yeah, it doesn't sound like great when you kind of game it out.
We got hope in this draft. We got cards again for the third in a row. Let's go. Let's go. Whiteout, glad to see you're out and you're doing well. It's the best. This is dedication right here. This is dedication. Appreciate you. And now you're gonna scoop the whole thing on the live stream. Disgusting. I was
That's
surprised that week one had a payout of only 20K.
I like the 10% of first ones. They're just flatter in general.
I think
I'm
last
surprised they didn't
year,
market it more. Like
I
it because
think
it sounds better.
I can't remember who brought this up. It might have been McCaffrey in the chat, or it might have been like Paul that they said last year. I think the minimum payout was $7, and that frees up $3 times 4,500. That frees up like $1,300, where you can then kind of add to here. Who
Yeah,
cares about a min cash, right? Keeps people in
yeah.
the
I
app.
honestly, yeah, I don't. I would rather it just flatter towards the top than like flatter at the bottom.
Hmm.
Like I don't like when the like first to fifth is like a tenth or something. Like
Right.
I don't know. This just feels bad to get like hosed on like 1.5 points or something. Lamar team.
Yeah, I was bringing Lamar here again, like
I
for the
see. I
same
feel like
reason that people go Dobbins. Like this
yeah.
Houston run defense isn't strong. If we can see like Lamar Jackson from like think about how he started last season. He was on such a disgusting trajectory. Him and Andrews after like those first 3 games, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be a billionaire. And then he sort of flopped. So
Yeah. See. Yeah. How do you feel about the Lamar Andrews in this? Chad's got it about 50% of Lamar teams have Andrews, which to me,
it's too
I don't know
much.
about that. I think that's too much as well. I would
I'd
rather just
rather I'd
grab Bateman or
rather go one of
Flowers.
these two. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Go Chubb.
I agree with that.
I like
And
the Chubb T Higgins.
honestly, you could really go like this isn't the same Baltimore team where it's like Andrews is the only target there, right? Where he's going to have 27% target share. They bring in Odell. They have Zay Flowers. Is Bateman healthy? Like we'll see. He
I
should
think
be out
Bateman's
there
fine.
in the mix. But like now it's not as condensed of an offense. So you can go more naked Lamar Jackson stacks in this for this year, in my mind at least, before we know who the favorite target is. I don't feel like we have to force a pass catcher.
I don't think so either, but I think if you go a pass catcher, you absolutely do not go Zay Flowers because he's being drafted like over 3 times as much with Lamar, and you can't tell me there's that much of a difference, especially week 1 where we don't really know anything.
Yeah, give me the
Um,
guy that's lower owned.
yeah, give me the two
Bateman.
guys when you're just flipping a coin anyways. Nobody knows if like Zay Flowers, OBJ, and Bateman, their like prop lines have got to be within like 5 yards of each other.
Hmm.
So just pure game theory, unless you have like a really strong conviction on one of those guys, just pure game theory is like it's just so obvious. You should just click Bateman or Odell.
100%. It's leveraging every other
Yeah,
team that has Lamar. That's
yeah.
uh
Like yeah, Zay Flowers is at 12% with Lamar, Bateman 5, Odell 2.
mhm.
There's not that big of a gap between those guys.
Hope start with Chase and Andrews. Cards start with Eckler and Waddle. It's fun.
Yeah, whiteouts like in T Higgins. I called that out earlier. That's I don't know. I don't love T Higgins, but he should be going in more frequently. I think. Um, yeah, Mike
I'm
Williams.
cool with just grabbing Mike Williams
I've
here.
been wanting to get more Tyler Lockett. I know that's not like this click, but I'm totally down for Mike Williams. He's one of my favorite players on the slate.
Let
Like,
me
how do you
let me
feel
try
about
to.
Tyler Lockett? Like, him and DK had similar spike weeks last year. I understand DK is
Mhm.
just like a, more of a freak and like, could
Yeah.
take another step, but I don't know. Lockett, he's in a really good spot this week, especially with no JSN. He's not coming off the field. The Rams defense looks absolutely horrible.
And again, that's just another leverage play. And
Yeah,
if he's
I mean,
not going
it's not even huge leverage because DK's not going crazy high, but it's just like a smash spot for him. And he had like multiple 25-point games last year.
what do you think about a falling Henry? Now it's not
It doesn't
as
really matter that it's falling because
yeah.
we reached on Mike Williams, but yeah, I'm totally down for Mostert.
Let's just
And I
bring
don't
in
even care.
Mostert
I don't even
here.
care to reach. Once you get into round 4, I don't even care about the ADPs. So we need receiver and tight end. So just
Some
yeah,
Bateman.
yeah. I would be very interested into Bateman. Although I don't. I kind of like look at these as such a portfolio standpoint. So like, I'd probably just be clicking whichever one. Like, if you don't have any Bateman stacks, like yeah, you probably want
Mhm.
maybe one or two.
Let's see who's on the board still. Because this is where like I start to compare and it's like Bateman or DK Metcalf or
Yeah.
like that one's like that's where I get away from my click. Or like even Christian Watson is not clicked enough. We could go T Higgins too for
The
a mini
Debo one is
stack.
egregious to me.
Yeah.
He's
No.
even down far. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
He should be mixed in. Like I agree.
I mean, Lockett. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna get a lot of Lockett and Debo.
I think Drake London's very clickable in this.
I agree. And Christian Kirk is too. It's tough with with how small, like how many few players are being picked. Like
Hmm.
it's just crazy. I mean, going from best ball to this, and you're like, wow, just like Devontae Smith's probably gonna go undrafted. Like It's like, holy shit. It's just,
It's different, right? You just really have to stick to your plan. Like, who are those guys that you want, right?
mhm.
I would like to get Hawk here, but yeah, he's gone. Like DK or T Higgins, like really, they're in sort of the same range. So I side with the game stack.
Yeah, I like T. Higgins. I think he's a great play
That's
this week. Now we just need tight end, right? See, at this point, like,
yeah.
I feel like you just have to scroll down here. These guys aren't elite enough to justify the ownership. I
I think
guess
it's sort of just
Goddard, but I don't even like Goddard that much. Like, I don't know. I like Fryermuth. I like Komet. Joan Johnson's a TD magnet. Oh,
yeah. I
Njoku's a
have
game
Jawan
stack.
Johnson.
Oh no, we have Chubb. We have Chubb. Don't go Njoku.
Yeah, Njoku's gone. How
Okay.
about Ingram? Sort of,
Ingram, totally cool with Ingram. Yeah, I
and
have
we
a
can
lot of
just
Ingram.
like we can leverage the Ridley
Mm-hmm.
Kirk stacks, ETN.
ETN gets drafted, Lawrence.
So like
Yeah,
we have a piece of this highest scoring game, right? Mini stack. We have a piece of this game which we think's underrated. This is definitely a fun one. And Lamar, like I really do think you could see him spreading the ball more this season. And if he uses his legs, a lineup like this can get there pretty easily without having elevated
yeah,
like a single other pass catcher on the
yeah.
offense.
You definitely need a rushing TD or two. But yeah, he could throw for two, and if they're just the two
Definitely.
different people, they're neither of them are going to be optimal because he's probably not throwing for like 350,
Right. No.
especially against
No
Houston.
chance. Be lucky if he throws for like 220.
Yeah, yeah. We're just ripping the naked QBs here, but if you're going to do it with two, it's Lamar and
And
Fields.
Fields. 100%. All right. Let's get a solo Dooley. A solo Dooley draft.
You're just steering.
Just
Or
I
you're
have
just
the
operating
wheel.
you're operating the buttons. Yeah, I'm steering. I
My
guess.
eyes are closed. Let's see what you can muster it up here.
Yeah, appreciate it, Ben. I can't really use data here for. I need some VR data though. I got to start getting creative. I don't know what to do. I'm also
I
starting to sweat
think
a little bit here. It's getting hot.
yeah, it's getting hot. I might
Ooh,
open let me open a
solo
window real
draft is
quick.
gonna make me sweat even more too, dude. Oh, that'll cool me off. Good looks.
Two spot. Dude, Cards is an animal. Cards is an absolute animal. Yeah, real nice.
But oh wait, what draft is he talking about? What draft is he talking about? Oh, is that what he had? Oh,
No, because we had Higgins, right? He must.
we had Higgins and Chubb.
Yeah,
I don't know. Was he talking about last draft? Maybe. I don't know.
3 minutes ago. Not sure.
We already had Lamar though, so it's on. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I've just been taking Jefferson at the 101 just because I don't want to be like totally underexposed on him.
Definitely
But
agree there.
I really do like Tyreek. Like I wouldn't be mad if my 102 RNG beat my. Oh, all right. I
Let me.
forgot that the 101's listening to me.
Right.
I'm just kidding. He takes me nuts. Yeah,
I
Jefferson.
man, let me check my exposure to Tyree because it's around 40% because I was taking him at 3 and 4 early.
Yeah, I think those top three are the clear three. And probably go Eckler, CMC.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Take stances, boys. Take stances. 48% Mike Williams, 44% Hill, 40% Herbert.
I think it's totally fun to take stances on guys in this and then just like mix in like other darts like around them. Like you don't want to be like
Exactly.
on the same like four players in every lineup, but no, pick your couple guys, go like 30-40% and then just like mix in
Mhm.
around them. Especially if you're like not like a total degen and you're just doing like 5 to 10 of these, just
Yeah.
get your guys.
100%
Make
agree
make,
there.
make smart lineups, but like this, so much of this is just like luck.
Like 100. So that those lineups that I don't have Hill,
get crushed.
those lineups I don't have Hill, those lineups I don't have Mike Williams, I'm still trying to find ways to target that game, whether it's Mostert, Waddle, Everett, Eckler. Like, I still think it's super important to find that game that you think has just extreme potential to go haywire.
All right, let's get a little great. Let's go Ridley. We're going Jag stack here.
Bringing in Calvin.
We're going Jag stack with two scroll down running backs. Go Hawkinson, so we don't have to scroll down at tight end, and then we'll go Lawrence and two scroll down running backs.
I really think
we took Hawkins Jefferson.
All right, this is a Kirk Cousins team. It's a Kirk Cousins.
Unbelievable. Oh man. Brutal.
See what happens? I let go of the wheel for 1 second.
I just crashed I just nosedived into the Hudson River, man.
That's the best.
Dude, I started sweating. You made me draft on my own, and
dude, we have to do the Godwin bring back. This is the Godwin bring back team.
Over Evans?
Just because of Drew. It's the only reason.
All right, if Drew says so, we're doing.
It's the only reason. That's the best. Whose dog is that? Shut up. When we don't even know if Flowers is any good. That's the thing. Like, yeah, he had great success in preseason against backups. Like, sick. you know.
And the fact that he's like way more owned than Bateman or Odell with Lamar, that's just an easy click.
Yeah.
Yeah, this lineup's gonna win for sure.
Sorry. That was unintentional. Completely unintentional. Okay. No, but like wide receiver, tight end is definitely more viable, and the data showed it is more viable than wide receiver.
Yeah, just because of the tight end position, like they could all just flop. Hawkins scores 12 and it's fine.
Right.
Whereas receiver, you're not winning with a 12 in your receiver spot.
Someone's gonna snipe. ADW, I believe this is a pounder here.
So if somebody takes Kirk Cousins, I don't even know, man. There's no way though. I mean, just take Cousins because we're scrolling at running back. I don't even care. You can't lose.
Well, this guy already has Cousins, or this guy already has QB. How about Stevenson, Robinson, Mostert, Kenneth Walker? Any
Stevenson.
of these? They're gonna have to play this game on the ground, right? Keep the ball away from Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, but I mean, I think a bunch of dump offs could be in play for him too. Oh yeah, let's find the other. Just take Cousins here, so then we can just figure out the other RB. I'm not really worried about like the top guy or two going.
No one's going Cousins.
All right.
No one's going. Imagine.
Well, now we gotta.
We can go Godwin, Mike Evans.
Oh, true. Oh, I forgot we don't have to go two RBs. Yeah, go Godwin. We have to go Godwin. If you do something like this, I'm not running back any bucks really, but if you crash into something like this, I think you got it.
You have to.
Yeah.
You absolutely have. Like, you have to play this game now. And that's fine because not a lot of other people are going to do this. And guess what? This is exactly how I won 25K. Everyone in the lobby was like, this guy just stacked Russell Wilson. Like, six QBs go off the board. This guy drafted Russell Wilson. And yeah, it only takes one lineup to be saying F you. Take me to the bank. This is that lineup. Jay, welcome to the live stream. Let's go. Draft Tom Brady. Come back to the Pats this week. You heard it here first. Bring back Edelman. Bring back the whole gang. Danny Amendola.
Oh, that Brady coming back to the Pats this week will help out our Stevenson. So get 12 dump offs.
Minimum.
Wait, listen, I read that chat. That's why I wanted Stevenson.
Huge
Yeah,
brain
Max
play.
saying Mostert doesn't have a high ceiling. I disagree. I mean, I think that's just tied to his
Damn.
usage. Like, I don't think he's that good, but if the Dolphins score 32 points and he's playing 60+% of the snaps, he definitely has multi TD upside.
He's probably playing more than 60% too.
I mean, there's not that many RBs that are playing. I mean, 65 maybe. There's not that
They-
many RBs in the league
like
that
they
are
are-
playing that much.
They got rid
They
of
like Salvin Ahmed. Like I think
Yeah.
they think he's like a fine RB.
but they got rid of Gaskins too.
Oh,
A-Chain's
we
bang.
copied his exact stack from the first draft. I'm sorry. I just wait. He did Cousins, JJ, Hawk, Godwin.
Shut up.
This is getting worse and worse.
Shut up. It's a dupe. No, you don't have. As long as you don't have Stevenson, I'm completely fine with it.
Yeah, we did it on
No.
accident. I wasn't paying attention. I was just like, click the elite tight end.
Oh, he had JJ, but he didn't have
Hawk,
Ridley.
Godwin, Cousins. He probably didn't have. Yeah, AZ
Yeah.
cards. Who did you have with the other two? Did we just like?
Ben, we are going to be streaming that at 7:25. We'll be going live there.
I can't believe we just duped a stack from last.
That's
Yeah, I didn't like it. I still don't like it.
unbelievable.
I didn't mean to take Hawkinson with JJ.
That's unbelievable. Guys, we can't repeat that. Like nothing's going to beat that draft. So I think we'll cut it here. I appreciate everyone coming out. Make sure if you enjoyed tonight's live stream, drop a follow for Dooley. Link is in the description. Drop a sub. We're going to be doing this show every single Tuesday night at 8 p.m. We're going to be smashing these slates all season long. Dooley, any words for the people?
Yeah, I'm going to have some content coming out tomorrow or Thursday, just like a slate breakdown kind of. I mean, I talked about a lot of what I have in the article, but just like quick, kind of like a little primer for week one. But yeah, subscribe to the Pounders. We got to get my man to 1,000. Did you set did you set anything else for if you get to it by like a certain point?
It's the 24-hour live streams on the table. It's on the table
for even if not by kickoff.
We're trying to get it by kickoff because what else, man? What would I do for content? I would have, but like obviously, I don't expect to get 100 subs overnight.
I mean,
you think?
We'll get it going.
People are crazy. People are crazy. I do have Wednesday night off just in case, which is funny. I do have it off.
Well, I'm rooting for you, but yeah, subscribe if you're not. I feel like most people watching probably subscribe, but
yeah, a bunch of animals. Appreciate you guys coming out. I hope everyone has a good night. I'll see everyone at 7:30. We'll be live streaming the Patreon Founders Pounders League. Let's go, Pounders.